You alluded to, some of the noise at the trade deadline. Why didn't they do more? Stuff like that, be more aggressive. Like, how did you guys approach the trade deadline? And did the team being, it's standing at or near the top of the West, how did that kind of impact your thinking there?
Well, I wasn't referring to the trade deadline. I'm happy to answer the question, but
Sorry.
but I was referring to the beginning of the season when I don't think people were really clamoring for that at the trade deadline. There was more at the beginning of the year. Trade deadline, the one thing that we have to look at is where we were and where we finished. After the trade deadline, we were in first place. And after the regular season concluded, we ended up in first place. The team really surged after that. And I think a big part of it is we didn't manipulate it to a huge degree. Obviously, we made the trade for Gordon, and you guys can ask me about that separately if you want. I'm happy to talk about that. I just don't want to get diverted with this particular question. But and that trade is like a multi-dimensional trade for us, right? You're consolidating, 3 players who ultimately, would like to play more. You're clearing up a significant amount of future salary, and you're bringing a player in who you think very highly of, who you don't, who seemingly fits the style in which you play. I do think it's real that particular period was very instructive because I think it's a good learning opportunity for us that this particular team or iteration of the team could be really challenging to add to in the middle of the season. And we were trying to be as delicate as we could. Now, I like how it ended because we obviously were significantly better at the end of the year than we were at the deadline. And we certainly, if we did something else, I don't know that it would have taken away from the formula that we had kind of found for the year. Even the rebounding, which I know is a question that we'll talk about. We after the trade deadline, we were the 10th best defensive rebounding team in the league. Now, I'm not saying that was because of the trade deadline. I think it was probably a factor of a lot of different factors. But by kind of continuing to trust the team, at the end of the day, that's what I felt we did. We finished with the best record, the first division. We certainly could have done some things different. If we did, I don't know that it could have been better. It could have been worse. I don't know. It just would have been different. But I do think it's instructive just with our play style. And when you have a good thing moving, manipulating that doesn't mean it always gets better. It could obviously get worse. I think we tried to thread the needle, and I'm pleased with the way, where we ended,
Yeah.